More about that?
Yeah, just the idea that like it was comfortable to take risks and feel vulnerable right away, to say, I don't understand this, I need help clarifying for myself. And I think it's through that dialogue that I was able with another principal to say, this is what I'm putting out there as my goal, this is what I'm trying to figure out. And he immediately gave feedback and helped deepen my thinking by forcing me to clarify through conversation, what do I mean and why? Why do I want it to be my goal? How do I really think that's going to impact? Because we can have these lofty, huge, gigantic goals that in a way just kind of vomit out everything that we already know about, being a good leader and effective management and leadership. But I think then there's this reality of like what is really manageable, in the coming months? When can I really commit to that's going to mean something more to me than like, what's this great statement on paper that I'm going to turn into somebody? It's what am I going to do with it, and how am I going to? And I also think there's this sense of responsibility by being in a cohort too, that we've already set like, okay, by that April time we come together, how can we, each take 15 minutes and just share progress or something? So there's somewhat of a responsibility too to say, I'm working on it. I'm not just going to, come and pretend I'm doing something or not, or pretend I'm an expert again. But when in reality, I'm not practicing or applying the things that I'm saying are important to me. So I think that responsibility to a cohort is important too.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
Do you want to talk about responsibility for one more second?
Sure.
So being a member owner,
Yeah.
when we talked at the beginning of this session, or in the fall, about the idea of being a member owner of Front Range BOCES, and what was interesting is the word in the Wordle, I don't know if you remember that, but what came out most prevalently was, I'm talking to this and
yeah, that's okay.
Sorry,
That's okay.
over there.
Yeah.
And responsibility was the number one thing. So just talk to me for 1 second about what that means to you.
Sure. Well, responsibility, I think, is part of taking ownership for this, that this isn't something, I'm mandated to do. This is something I chose. And so, and I feel a responsibility then for me to make commitments that'll better deepen my learning and understanding. And I think that I also owe that to the cohort that I've committed to, that when I come here, I'm going to be engaged, and when I set a goal, I'm going to mean it, and I'm going to follow through and give feedback that will benefit all of our learning. I think that's part of the responsibility and the commitment you make to joining a cohort like this, that in the same way that I would expect that level of commitment from others, I need to demonstrate that too. By coming prepared, by following through, by taking risks, by making it okay to be vulnerable and say, sure, I have a huge knowledge base about this, but the fact is, if you would come and watch me, my application of it is poor, and I need to work on that. When I supervise 47 classrooms right now by myself, and there's lots of great ideas I have about it, but what can I zone in on and focus in on to apply that will have enough leverage or impact?